400 characters is not enough, dude. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. Okay, let's talk about gender. Let's talk about gender for a minute. I sometimes feel like a hypocrite. I do. Because, you know, I'm surrounded by people who attempt to somehow, I don't know, dissolve the binary somehow. People who are men who want to be women, and people who are women who want to be men, or who only want to transgender on the weekends, or who want to be hybrids, or who want to be androgynous, or who want to be gender fucks, and I feel exclusive to them. Like, I want to separate myself from them because I don't relate to their story. And I'm not saying that their story is wrong or bad. It's just not like my story. And when I was a lesbian for like a minute, the only lesbians or women that I was interested in were women who presented masculine, because I'm gay and that's what I like. And then I see all these gays who present feminine, and I'm offended by that in some weird psychotic way. And I want to abolish the binary, because the binary puts us in boxes where we don't fit. You know, if I was still, because I felt so awkward being feminine or female, if that binary didn't exist, I would have suffered less. So I want the binary to be gone. But I very much assign to the binary, just not the binary checkbox that I have. So I want to go to the other side, because that's a box that makes sense to me, a box that I'm like, yes, this is me, I get it. Oh, I understand men, I relate to men, I relate like a man. You know, so I want to be a man. But I don't relate to women, and I don't get them. I don't understand women, even though I was born one, and I socialized as them, and it never made sense. So I don't want the binary so that people don't suffer the constraints of the binary if they don't fit the binary. But I want to be part of the binary after I'm done. Does that make sense? It's so confusing. I agree. But everything you're saying makes sense. Like, I see all these people that I feel represent my story. You know, people who are cross-binary but expressive of themselves and their personality and their gender in a way that is atypical, which I can understand and can relate to. Like, even as a trans man who deeply relates to the masculine side of the binary, I tend to have two personalities that express themselves in how I portray who I am. I feel very masculine in that I'm strong, and I can be quiet, and I can be aggressive, and I can be incredibly direct. No bullshit. But at the same time, I dress in rainbows. Not literally, but I have like bright colored pants, bright colored t-shirts, I wear them together. I'm not afraid of color. My hair is a different color than any of the clothes that I have. So I often appear multicolored in how I present. But I feel comfortable in that because I express myself as a gay man, where that's okay. But I still feel very masculine, even if I present sort of flamboyantly gay. And the two sides sometimes fight, because I don't like wearing suits, and I don't like wearing, I mean, I would love to, but they're uncomfortable. So I'm casual, and it shows off. It's weird, but I'm very strongly masculine, even in my non-masculinity. And if I was born a cis man, I could play with that without an issue. You know, as a teenager dressing flamboyantly would get me bullied. I didn't dress flamboyantly as a teenager, and I still got bullied. But if I was cis, I would have every privilege and right to express myself any way I wanted without my being male being a question. But as a trans man, I feel like as if I'm forced to be purely masculine, and I refuse to accept that. So I'm willing to express myself in a way that is non-conforming. But it's only non-conforming because I'm trans. Does that make sense? But my story is somewhat unique on YouTube in that the few people that I've seen who I'm like, yes, finally, I can relate to your story. Our stories are similar. Some of them are detransitioning. Some of them are going back to being women. Some of them are very young and will probably change their minds. And so while I very firmly assign myself that masculine role and want to check that male checkbox in the binary, I feel that my presentation will put that into question. It will make me not pass, and I will have to pretend once again to fit some mythical, imaginary pattern of behavior in order to fit in, even though I shouldn't have to, because if I was cis, that wouldn't be a problem. It's fucked up. It's really confusing. And yet, while I express differently and I firmly believe in my masculine role, when I see people who express too feminine, I find it a turnoff or offensive. Even though they're cis. And I mean, like, do your thing. I mean, if you want to be a femboy, okay. I'm not interested. That's your choice. But I kind of get offended that maybe they should pick a side of the binary and go with it. But then I believe there shouldn't be a binary, so I'm a hypocrite. Because I believe it, but it's selfish. And I want to be called dude. I call people dude, even girls dude, and then they get offended, but don't call me a dude because I'm a girl. Well, I call everyone dude. It's complicated. But I get what you're saying, and I like how you put it. And video response, even though I already commented a whole bunch. Later, man.